English students, this is Mrs. Peacock, and at this point we need to start our first essay assignment, which is the research paper. And I like to start off with the research paper because you start off with the most challenging essay first, go ahead and knock it out, and then it's smooth sailing from here on out. So for this research paper, I would like you to utilize outside sources, so that could be articles, books, documentaries, etc., to learn about an influential person and how he or she has influenced today's society, whether for the better or for the worse. While you may choose the person, please ask my permission for your topic before beginning your research. So this week's assignment for the daily grade and attendance is going to be to turn in an outline in the discussion board, and there's more specific instructions and discussions as well under the research paper topic proposal heading. But I want to be able to review not only who you've chosen, but the direction you're taking your topic. And I'm going to provide feedback on each outline so that I can direct you in the right train of thought, essentially, for this assignment. So you do have to ask permission before you begin your research. Also, you may not repeat a topic that you've written about in the past. I'm expecting a new research paper that has not been submitted by you in any other course. If you do submit an essay that you have already turned in before, it will be flagged with self-plagiarism. So some students do not realize that you can plagiarize yourself. Say, for instance, if you wrote an essay in art and it was about an influential artist and you tried to submit that same essay to this course, on my end, it comes up 100% plagiarized, and you are guilty of self-plagiarism. So in that instance, you would get a 0 for this assignment, and you'd have to rewrite an original new essay for this assignment. I've had some instances of self-plagiarism quite a bit lately, so I just want to be very clear that I am expecting new work. It wouldn't exactly be fair to your classmates if you just resubmit the same essay in multiple courses and they're doing fresh work for every course. So just want to make sure that that's very clear. And if you're not sure about it, please communicate with me, ask questions. I'm happy to meet with you even, but I don't want to have any issues with plagiarism and even self-plagiarism within this assignment. Rough drafts are going to be due Wednesday, March 20th by midnight, and you'll turn those rough drafts into the discussion board. Discussion board is used for peer review, so your rough drafts are rough for a reason. You can have those revised and updated and improved before you turn in a final draft, which is the draft I'm going to grade. But peer review is where your peers are going to get to read over your rough draft, offer suggestions on what needs to be revised, and then you can make those revisions before I grade the final draft. Final drafts are going to be due after spring break. It's going to be Wednesday, April 3rd by midnight, and you'll turn those into the week 4 content folder. All of your final drafts are submitted electronically. You don't have to worry about printing off anything, so that does help. And they're also scanned with anti-plagiarism software. So for this assignment, especially since you are going to integrate outside sources, the plagiarism checker is very helpful because then you can see it and I can see it as well on what has been taken from outside sources. Just make sure you cite your sources. So if you give credit to the source with an in-text citation in your works cited entry, then you have not plagiarized. You've given credit to who provided the information in the first place. So if you didn't know the information before you read the source, you do need to have both an in-text citation and a works cited page. So the works cited page, there's a really good example on page 199 in your Siegel textbook, and that was the textbook you used for English 101. It's also used in 102. But page 199 has a really good example of what I mean when I say a works cited page. Notice it's not a list of links that you've just copied and pasted, it's complete citations. And depending on the types of sources you find, it's going to vary on what the citation requires. Of course, websites need the website link, but it'll also have the date that it was published, the author, the title. But a print text wouldn't have a website link, of course. So it just depends on what sources you find. Make sure you use reputable sources, so don't use Wikipedia or blogs or things that just Joe Schmo can go online and type whatever he thinks about the topic. Make sure that it is a reputable source. Of course, .govs, .orgs are really helpful and have been vetted. And then I'm also going to show you databases because our database system in the library's website is really helpful because all of the sources on databases have been peer reviewed, which means that they've been fact checked. So at this point, we're going to take a look at Wallace's main page. This is just wallace.edu. You can go to Campus Life and Resources. Once you've gone to that tab, you can select Library. And the library page has everything you could possibly want to know about the library. It has the entire history of the library, where it's located, their hours, everything. That's really helpful. But for this, I want us to take a look at LRC databases. And I'm going to show you guys the most helpful databases for just general information. Of course, there's several others that are more specific to like science or medical field, but for our purposes, we're going to look at the Alabama Virtual Library. Once you've clicked in, you just click College and University. And then you have so many options on sources you can use, but I like to use EBSCOhost for general information. And here you can type anyone you want to research. So for me, if I had the same topic possibility, I would want to research William Shakespeare. He is my guy. So once you find a really cool source, say I want to use this book, I can click into it. And then it has all this information for the description. You want to read over that to see if it is going to be a good source for you to use. You can do the PDF full text here to see the entire text, whether that's an article or an ebook. This is actually an ebook. So you've got chapters over here that you can click through. And this one's all about William Shakespeare. They've got it scanned in. So, but for citation purposes, you can cite by clicking the Cite tool and then scroll down to MLA and copy and paste the citation into your works cited page. They've already done the work for you. So that's what I love about databases is not only are they reviewed and fact checked, but they also have that citation tool that's just really helpful. Another really good database to check out, not only EBSCOhost, but Gale Power Search is really helpful as well. They've got a ton of other Gale resources, but Gale Power Search is a really helpful database to use as well. And it works very similar to EBSCOhost, where you can search the person and then use the citation tool. So for this one, I'm going to research Edgar Allan Poe. Edgar Allan Poe. And the murder of Edgar Allan Poe. Ooh, that does sound interesting. I might just have to read that for my own enjoyment, because he did have a mysterious death. So say you find a really cool article that you want to use for your paper. For Gale Power Search, they include the citations at the bottom of the article. So here it defaults to MLA 9th edition, and I could just copy and paste the citation into my works cited page. For in-text citations, a really neat trick to know is whatever starts the citation for the works cited page is what goes in the parentheses at the end of the quote. So say I find a really cool quote or a point from this article, at the end of the sentence, I would just have to put parentheses, nickel, and then page 14, parentheses, period, to give credit to nickel and where I found it. And then once I go to your works cited page, I can see the rest of the information for the source. But if you're not quite sure how to do in-text citations or just works cited citations, I'm happy to guide you through that as well, because I know some of you are going to find sources that are not on these databases. One last really cool source to use through our library's resources is their Wallace College ebook collection. So we've used EBSCOhost, Gale Power Search, and then this ebook collection. The ebook is where you've literally had a book scanned electronically. So it's just really helpful. I'm going to do Emily Dickinson for this one. Dickinson, she's another one of my favorites. So say I want to use this book, you just click PDF full text and it'll pull up the entire book for you. It's as if you've checked out this book, but you don't have a due date for the checkout, so that's great. There's citation tools just right here, and then you can find the MLA version and then copy and paste it for your works cited page. So I just wanted you guys to know that you have so many resource opportunities through our libraries page. So the formatting is 12-point Times New Roman font, double spaced with MLA heading and style. You must have a works cited page. It's not a research paper without a works cited page. And like I said, a works cited page is not a list of internet links. It is a complete works cited page. You must include at least 3 outside sources. So that is the minimum, but of course, if you go over, that's fine as well. The research paper should be 1,000 words in length, and that does count that works cited page. The final draft late submission rule is 10 points off every day late of that final draft. So just make sure you turn in your final drafts by Wednesday, April 3rd, and you won't have to worry about having any points deducted for late submission. All of your final drafts are going to be graded using the grading rubric that's listed on the Getting Started page of Blackboard, so you have access to that grading rubric at all times. And it's also scanned with anti-plagiarism software, so just make sure that you do not plagiarize this essay. And if you're not sure what plagiarism is, or if you need some clarification, please just ask. I'm happy to spend time discussing it with you. I just don't want you to accidentally plagiarize or purposefully plagiarize, of course. So if you need extra help, there's also a fantastic writing center through Wallace that you can have tutoring online or in person, and they can help you with any step of the writing process. So I highly recommend checking out our writing center as well. I always have the spot at the bottom of the topic sheet to give you for brainstorming and outlining. You're not required to use this spot, but you will be turning in outlines for your essays. So if you want to do some handwritten notes here to help guide you along your way, there is an opportunity to do that on your topic sheets. If you have any questions whatsoever, please let me know. I'm always here to help you, even though this is an online course and it is a mini-term course, so it is faster paced than the average semester course. I'm always here to help. If you need to call my office phone, stop by my office, send an email, I'm happy to guide you through this. So have a wonderful day.